Visit us on onestepenglish.com. Listening. Directions in listening section, you will hear monologues, dialogues, and academic talks.
A new bat for Maria.
Meg and Greg were invited to a party. They were supposed to dress up as animals. Let's be a donkey. I'll be the front end. You can be the back legs. Greg said. Meg liked her brother's idea. The children told their mother about their plan. She helped them make a donkey suit. Finally, it was time for the party. First, Greg climbed into the front part of the donkey suit. Then, Meg climbed into the back part. She had to bend over when she walked. It wasn't easy. She couldn't see where she was going. Let's go. Greg cried. While he walked to the left, Meg walked to the right. The donkey suit began to stretch. Stop. Meg shouted. Then both children fell down and laughed. I think we should have practiced walking in this suit before today, said Meg.
Number 1. Which of these things happened last?
Letter A. Meg and Greg were invited to a party. Letter B. Meg shouted, stop. Letter C. Meg and Greg fell down and laughed.
The correct answer is letter C. Meg and Greg fell down and laughed.
Number 2. What happened while Meg walked to the right?
Letter A. Greg walked to the left. Letter B. Greg cried, let's go. Letter C. Greg climbed into the front part of the suit.
The correct answer is letter A. Greg walked to the left.
Number 3. What caused Meg and Greg to fall down?
Letter A. They didn't wear the suit correctly. Letter B. They didn't practice walking in the suit. Letter C. They got the wrong sized suit.
The correct answer is letter B. They didn't practice walking in the suit.
Reading.
In this section, you will be required to read 2 passages on varying topics. After each passage, you will answer questions to test your ability to understand vocabulary, writer's point of view, factual information and sentence structures.
Reading number 1. Choosing a career. Source: www.qualifax.e
Number 1. How does one end up in a satisfying career?
Letter A. Choose careers that seem secure or pay well. Letter B. Look where you can help. Letter C. Make a well thought out decision.
The correct answer is letter C. Make a well thought out decision.
Number 2. Which step should come first?
Letter A. Finding out your personal preferences. Letter B. Using all you have learned about your skills, interests, and values. Letter C. Research the specific skills and qualifications required for your chosen occupations.
The correct answer is letter A. Finding out your personal preferences.
Number 3. According to the text, why do most people end up unhappy with their jobs?
Letter A. They don't put enough effort into choosing occupations or pick them for the wrong reasons. Letter B. They don't plan the steps they need to take to put the plan into action. Letter C. They have not thought about where they are at now and where they want to be.
The correct answer is letter A. They don't put enough effort into choosing occupations or pick them for the wrong reasons. Reading number 2. Weight loss and fad diets. Source: www.betterhealth.vic.gov.au.
Number 1. What is an obvious fad diet?
Letter A. Diets that may provide short-term results, but they are difficult to sustain. Letter B. Diets that lead to an increased risk of various diseases. Letter C. Diets that maintain a healthy body weight and you don't have to cut out any foods.
The correct answer is letter A. Diets that may provide short-term results, but they are difficult to sustain.
Number 2. Why is it easy to spot fad diets?
Letter A. They are highly promoted in the market. Letter B. They are well talked about among friends. Letter C. They focus on weight loss and make claims based on a single study or testimonials only.
The correct answer is letter C. They focus on weight loss and make claims based on a single study or testimonials only.
Number 3. According to the passage, what is the best way to lose weight?
Letter A. Take vitamins and exercise. Letter B. Practice something that does not lead to an increased risk of various diseases. Letter C. Prepare a balanced eating plan and combine it with moderate physical activity.
The correct answer is letter C. Prepare a balanced eating plan and combine it with moderate physical activity.
You've reached the mid part of the video. Please don't forget to click like and subscribe.
VOCAB. In this section, you will learn vocabulary words with its meanings and examples. In the test, there are 5 questions and you have 10 seconds to answer each question.
Preference. A noun. A choosing of or special liking for one person or thing rather than another or others.
Example. It was Sheila's preference to go to a university over a small college.
Approximate. An adjective. Close to the actual, but not completely accurate or exact.
Example. The computations for our company's 2022 budget are very approximate.
Fad. A noun. A trend or craze is any form of collective behavior that develops within a culture, a generation, or social group in which a group of people enthusiastically follow an impulse for a short period.
Example. A lot of moms purchased a fad product like Pokemon last year to make their kids happy.
Restrict. A verb. Put a limit on. Keep under control.
Example. Due to the pandemic, stores will operate at certain hours to restrict the number of customers.
Moderation. A noun. The avoidance of excess or extremes, especially in one's behavior or political opinions.
Example. You can eat anything as long as it is in moderation.
Quiz time.
Number 1. Always remember to use sugar and salt in. A noun. The avoidance of excess or extremes, especially in one's behavior or political opinions.
Letter A. Moderation. Letter B. Restrict. Letter C. Fad. Letter D. Approximate. And letter E. Preference.
The correct answer is letter A. Always remember to use sugar and salt in moderation.
Number 2. The IT department needs to access to certain files. A verb. Put a limit on. Keep under control.
Letter A. Moderation. Letter B. Restrict. Letter C. Fad. Letter D. Approximate. And letter E. Preference.
The correct answer is letter B. The IT department needs to restrict access to certain files.
Number 3. Jenny is collecting stamps, and it is a good. A noun. A trend, or craze is any form of collective behavior that develops within a culture, a generation, or social group in which a group of people enthusiastically follow an impulse for a short period.
Letter A. Moderation. Letter B. Restrict. Letter C. Fad. Letter D. Approximate. And letter E. Preference.
The correct answer is letter C. Jenny is collecting stamps, and it is a good fad.
Number 4. Dino have a. For sweet food over spicy, but I like the latter best. A noun. A choosing of or special liking for one person or thing rather than another or others.
Letter A. Moderation. Letter B. Restrict. Letter C. Fad. Letter D. Approximate. And letter E. Preference.
The correct answer is letter E. Dino have a preference for sweet food over spicy, but I like the latter best.
Number 5. The next trains. Time of arrival is 10:30 a.m. An adjective. Close to the actual, but not completely accurate or exact.
Letter A. Moderation. Letter B. Restrict. Letter C. Fad. Letter D. Approximate. And letter E. Preference.
The correct answer is letter D. The next train's approximate time of arrival is 10:30 a.m.
Speaking section.
What are admirable global responses to the COVID-19 pandemic that we can learn?
Let us look at how countries around the world handled the initial outbreak of the pandemic and remember what their experiences have taught us as the pandemic continues to shape our daily lives. First off, is Taiwan. Taiwan made news around the world when it never undertook nationwide lockdowns. Rather than shuttering its economy for weeks on end in an attempt to slow the virus, Taiwan went another way. After quickly closing its borders and banning exports of surgical masks, the government used contact tracing and mobile SIM tracking to identify and ensure those in quarantine were actually abiding by the rules. Next is Singapore. Singapore was among the first countries hailed a winner for its pandemic response, a well-deserved reputation on the back of its aggressive approach to contact tracing, which included scanning people's IDs at supermarkets, and widespread testing. Another notable lesson to learn from Singapore was its quick ability to get students back at universities. This has made it the envy of the academic world. Lastly, there were also unforgettable lessons to learn from South Korea. South Korea, again, made possible not just by the government willing to take the necessary testing/tracing/quarantining measures, but a population willing to abide by those policies for the greater good. Also, South Korea began developing COVID-19 tests and scaling up production to thousands per day. If there is a common theme emerging among these admirable countries who responded responsibly to the pandemic, it's this: countries that responded earlier, faster, and aggressively tended to have better outcomes.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. Visit us on onestepenglish.com.